Okay, I'm up here in the tree house, way above the probably 6 or 7 stories up in the air. Depends on when you started reading. I'm there. Um, I'm out here painting. Is that? I don't know what this. I don't know if that was on. Is it still there? Is that a hole in my shirt or a bug? It's a hole in my shirt. It's a holster for a pen. Okay, so let's say that you have somebody that you just can't talk to. Okay? Now, immediately, the first thing you're going to think I'm talking about is my wife. And I might be, it might, extend to her too. I might, it might apply to her too. Let's say you have people that you can't talk to because, anytime you say something to them, they're going to react in a fucked up way. Or either every time you talk to them, they're not going to take you seriously. So, it gets to where you don't even want to talk to them, like bring up certain stuff because you know how it's going to turn out. But sometimes you just want to talk, but you get to where you don't even want to talk to them about anything because you're scared that, it's going to turn into a certain whatever. And, so you just, I don't know, avoid each other or either just find yourself doing it again where you're just trying to talk and it always ends up the same way. So, like, let's say I'm talking to my sister, okay? Let's say she comes over and I want to talk to her, but I automatically know as soon as I say, hey, whichever one, can I talk to you? I immediately know they're going to be like, God, what? Or either be like, what's up? And I hear the God, what? And I'm like, well, that's it. I can't talk to them about nothing now. They're blocked into whatever. And, or say, oh my God, and they're going to be like, what happened now? Or you're talking to your spouse and, you want to talk about something particular, but it's a subject they're sensitive to, and you still want to talk about it, you know what I mean? And sensitive, I don't mean they're going to be like, flip out or cry or whatever. It might just be something they don't care about, they really don't, like, I don't know, if I wanted to, I don't know, sit down and talk about how to play polo or how to, I don't know, make cookies or some shit, and somebody's talking to me about that, and I really don't care. You know what I mean? And I guess they know I don't care, just saying. I don't know if any of y'all know how to, I'm sure y'all know how to make cookies. I like making cookies. Actually, cookies sound pretty good right now. I've always wanted to learn how to play polo. I just want to ride a horse and hit shit, but whatever. Hit shit while eating cookies. Anyway, that's a game I'm gonna learn or teach. Not from a treehouse though. And after this, not from 7 stories up. Depends on how many times I tell a story. Whatever. Like, I know I don't give a shit about that, so if one of somebody comes and talks to me about that and they know I don't care, I'm not somebody that's interested in that type of shit, so they're not gonna talk to me about that. So that's already a subject alienated right there. I sound like I'm trying to talk in big words. That's already a subject they don't want to talk to me about because they know I'm not interested in it. Okay? I'm hearing shit now. Alright. They already know that's a subject I'm not interested in, so they're just not going to talk to me about it. Okay? Want to talk about cookies, they're going to be like, look at me, and they're going to be like, Joe don't want to talk about cookies, so they're going to look at whoever to talk about cookies. And then I'm going to be like, well, why didn't you talk to me about cookies? In that example. And then I'm going to get butthurt or upset. And I got somebody I want to talk to about polo or something, they don't know nothing about it, and I know they're not interested, but I go on and talk about it anyway on the off chance that they do give a shit, you know, even though I know they don't. Maybe they'll listen, you know, maybe this time I can talk to them about it and they'll be like, oh, you know what, that's cool, I never thought about polo, you know, I didn't know you could do that. This was running through my head, maybe this time it'll do that. Even though that's ran through my head 100 times, I'll still do it again. They still don't listen, and then I get upset because they don't listen, even though I knew beforehand they wouldn't. Okay, that's a long drawn out thing about polo and cookies, which is making me even more hungry and giving me more ideas on how to make that a real thing. But then on the other hand, you can be like, it can be like something where you have a problem and you want to talk to them about it, you know, something's happened, you know, whether it's in your relationship or whether something's happened at work, whether something's, you know, happened a long time ago, whether something's gonna happen, you know, anything that's distressing, upset. It's not like I'm reading a fucking dictionary. Where anything is gonna, you know, it makes you, where you want to talk about you're upset, it's bothering you. You know, but you know if you go to them, they're not trying to hear that shit. As soon as you say, I need to talk to you, they automatically think, oh God, and then they're not trying to talk about that shit, and you know they're not as soon as you hear that. And you either get upset that they don't want to, or you go and try to do it anyway. Now, if you try to do it anyway, and they still are just like, God, why are you always doing this right there? I'm not just talking about spouses, you know, I'm talking about sisters, mothers, brothers, whoever, you know, anybody, you know. Or either they say something snide and you get pissed and you're like, really? You know, I'm just trying to talk to you, or something's bothering them and you're like, really? I just want to talk to you about it. And every time it turns out the same way. There's never a time when it changes and they're like, oh, okay, what is it? When you say I need to talk to you about something. It never does that, you know what I mean? Okay, let me rewind for a second. Sometimes they are like, oh, okay, what is it? And then you start talking and they're like, oh, God. Like, they're not trying to hear this shit. Like, you're just talking to them about the same old bullshit. You know what I mean? Or maybe you feel like you can't tell them something because they're always getting on your ass about it. Like, maybe you're spending too much money. You know what I mean? And you want to tell them you're spending too much money, but they get on your ass about it, so you're not trying to even say shit. Maybe, you know, you didn't, I don't know, put gas in the car, and you don't want to tell them because you know they're going to get on your fucking ass, but you know you need to tell them because there's no gas in the car. You need to tell them about the money because there is no money. So you find yourself being quiet, and they're like, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? And you're trying to say, okay, let me break it to this point where I can tell them just perfect. I didn't put no gas in the car. What? Or, look, I know you're going to be mad at me. I didn't put no gas in the car. Why didn't you put gas in the car? Or why did you spend this? Or why did you spend that? A whole bunch of different things can happen depending on the mood in that situation. And that gets you stressed. And so you average it out and you're like, I'm just not going to say shit right now. I'm going to let it come out. And you're like, wait, that's going to get me in even more trouble. And then you're like, well, wait a minute. No, it's not. If it's going to be Band-Aid be ripped off anyway, I'd rather have as much time with them not knowing as possible. Sounds like a whole bunch of rambling bullshit, but I mean, it just strikes me. I'm sitting out here and I'm doing this right here and I'm thinking, I'm like, so much of the time you don't want to tell people shit and you don't want to talk to people because of their reactions. You know what I mean? And it makes you wonder how many little secrets motherfuckers have, or how much shit's bothering people. They just don't even talk to you about it. You know? It seems like this is all running into another video, but it's not. This is something completely different. This all started with that one thing, but that's not even getting solved anymore, so I'm just whatever. Now I'm just writing shit down through video when I think of something. It's like, because you sit down and you talk to somebody about something, or you're just talking and the subject shifts to something, and you know that it's going to get sensitive, but you start off and you're, having your opinions, and then it just on and on and on and on until it gets to where you're just both, and then there's that fucking tension, anger, and somebody either walks away, you sit in silence, you don't say shit, or turn your backs on each other, and you don't talk. And that subject or whatever, it's sensitive, and I don't know, the first thing that pops to my mind is abortion or religion. I don't know, that's one of them things, or, gay or whatever. Just, that's subjects to pop in my mind. That's not nothing that's happened. I'm just saying. You both start off with a comment on it, and it just back and forth, till eventually you're pissed, and you sit down with people, to talk about stuff, and it turns into subjects. So you don't straight up coming to somebody to talk to them about it. You come to somebody, or you're just sitting there talking, and it turns to that. Then it gets to where you don't want to talk to them right then, but you do want to talk to them. You just want to rewind to before that subject happened, but it's too late, and neither one of you wants to say anything or know how to change the subject. It's just really fucked up. How much shit people probably want to say to each other that they don't say to each other. I mean, I know I say this shit all the time, but people should talk. But some stuff that people really, just aren't trying to hear. There's some shit I'm just not trying to hear. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of shit people aren't just trying to hear from me. So, I mean, if somebody, I'm sitting there saying, talk, but there's shit that people want to talk about, I'm not trying to fucking listen to. You know what I mean? And the whole time they're talking about it, I'm thinking, alright, let's talk about something else, or let's go do something else. I'm not trying to do this, or why do we got to keep talking about this? Or why are we talking about this when it started off as this? You know what I mean? It's hard to put shit into words like that. I mean, I know you all have your own interpretation of what I'm saying right now. You're thinking your own thoughts. Sitting out here, there's no Wi-Fi, by the way. My throat's off. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I done lost all motivation to do shit. It seems like. It's like once I get up and start doing it, I'm okay. But to think about doing it, I just don't feel like doing shit. I came out here to finish painting this ugly motherfucker. I'm gonna consider this fucking treehouse of the Dark Ages. Started off a happy fucking time. This is probably the perfect metaphor for what I've just been talking about. It's the treehouse. It started off where, I wanted to talk to it, and build it. Then it got to where I just ain't trying to talk to this motherfucker no more, you know what I mean? But I still come out all the time, talk to it, knowing how it's gonna turn out, where I ain't trying to talk to this motherfucker. I ain't trying to fuck with it no more. Then to stay away from it, I just can't do it. I have to fix it and finish it. I know what's gonna happen. Anyway. So how do you fix that problem? You can't fix it. Ain't no fix that shit. I can't fix how I'm interested in something. I can, listen, try to listen, But the whole time I'm thinking, why can't we talk about something I'm interested in? Not in those words, but I'd rather talk about this. Why can't everybody see shit my way? That's where my opinion comes in. Living life based on my opinion. is a way most people live. Not everybody though, a lot of people don't. A lot of open-minded people out there. Like Girl Scout leaders and shit. You ever met them? They always sew and, you know, or just them, you know the kind. Girl Scout leaders. I don't know. There's one that pops into my mind every time. But it was from my childhood. This woman. Always sewing and baking cookies and shit. I don't know. But even them have their limits. When I rewatch this, when I take these small pauses, like, it seems like it's a really long time. Like that seemed like it was a really long time. Anyway, ow. Let me put some cushions up here. You ever hit yourself and you say ow and it really doesn't hurt? I know you do. You like hit yourself, you're like hit the tree, you're like ow, and it doesn't. Wonder why. Is this everybody else knows you hit yourself? Are you just letting them know? So they'll look at you and be like, you okay? Or so they'll be like, what happened? Because you just want the attention? Or is it just reflex because you've done it before and it really did hurt real bad? And you were like, ow! When I do something that hurts real bad, I'm all like, and I don't say nothing, I like tense up real bad. I'm like, does it really hurt that bad? And then it really does. And then I'm like, ah! Like that. It's really bright out here. I feel like my fucking hair, you know how much hair I've lost and fucking, my hair's all coming out and shit. I'm gonna be like all bald. I'm not gonna be one of them dudes that shaves my head though. Like, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna look weird bald though. I might just wear a hat all the time, but it really is bright out here. My hair's coming out, so I can do a comb over. There. I could get a toupee. A bunch of toupees so I can have a different hairstyle every day. You remember at, no, it was a head. I was gonna say that movie Return to Oz where she switched her head every day. That wasn't it. Somewhere she switched her hair. She always had a new, like every day she could put a new haircut on. A bunch of different wigs. I don't remember. Anyway, it's really nice out here today. I was gonna make a video with Shauna last night. We talked about it yesterday. We didn't know what to make a video of. We was gonna do a lie detector test. Because we seen this thing on TV where they gave people lie detector tests. But we'd be all running out of questions, or not even know what to ask. We'd be like, I need to look up, like, you know, Meet the Parents, where Robert De Niro goes do the lie detector test, and he doesn't have one. He like holds his fingers to him or whatever. I need to do that, but I'd be concentrating too much on that. I'd be concentrating too much on that and not the question, and then wouldn't care what they said. I'd be like, well, did I just hear that or like that? I don't know what I would be able to do that. I need to turn this motherfucker. There, leaning against a tree like Huck Finn. I need a fishing pole. Look how tall that goes up. That's a good 400 or 500 feet. You don't believe I do? But we was gonna make a video, and I would be like posting in the comments what to make a video about, but there's nobody even watching them, so there's nobody to leave comments. And if I leave a comment on what to do, then I already had an idea, and so I should have just did it. But when I have an idea, I could leave a comment on my own, but I don't even know if I can do that. Can I leave my own comments? ought to do that. I ought to leave myself a comment. What to do, because I want to do video with other people. You know? Because I start off with, hey, I want to talk about this. But I don't immediately do it because I'm either doing something else or I'll say I'll do it later. And then once I get to it, I remember vaguely what it was about. Or either I'll go into talking about it and not get it out in the words that I was trying to say. And so, I'm just rub my nose. I didn't pick it. Or the words I was trying to say aren't saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And it turns out weird. And I don't like that. The movie was skipping. Anyway. So I found out talking about stuff that I wasn't originally going to talk about, which doesn't even make any more sense because I end up talking about stuff that I didn't want to talk about that really doesn't have anything to do with anything. So if I had something to talk about, or a subject, like, alright, here's a subject, you have however long to cover all you can on that subject. Time limit starts now. Kind of like it was a bomb that's going to blow up. But not a bomb, because if I can't do it, I'm not trying to get blown up. And who would be here to give me a bomb anyway? Or if I made it myself. If I made it myself, I would just make the video on making a bomb. Which would be pretty done, because if I blew myself up, nobody would get the video anyway. Huh. There's a thought. I'm not trying to make a bomb, though. I mean, why? What would I do with it? Give myself however minutes to make a video? Then what would I do with it? Put it aside till I want to do it again? And how long is it gonna stay till it gets fucked up and won't light? I mean, a homemade bomb. Do I just put the ingredients aside? You know? And how long till I'm like, hey, that's a dumb idea. I don't want to do that anymore. You know? And what do I make it to where I'm holding it like a grenade? And then, or do I light a really time-long fuse where it's got this long to burn? And if I did that, would I not see it gets this long and be like, I'm not going to make it, fuck this, and gonna put it out? You know? So that whole idea right there doesn't even make any sense. You know, it could be a fake bomb, a egg timer, just to see if I could do it, you know? Be like trial run, I'm going to do it for egg timer, and if I can do it, I'll do it for bomb. Even though I'm lying, because I'm not going to do it with a bomb, for the reasons I just said. I should leave a comment in somebody else's thing for them to do that and see how it works. I bet they'd do it too. Or either figure out how they would do it and then try to do it. Or see if they could do it and if it worked. If it did work, then I might try it. No, I still wouldn't do it. I can't figure out what to say. I'm not going to be able to figure out where to go get everything to put together to make a grenade long fuse timed bomb that I can put away to keep for later. Huh? So this is what I'm talking about. I got on here talking about, I don't even remember. Oh, talking to people. Now I know why motherfuckers don't talk to me, because I don't make no fucking sense. Or they're scared I'm gonna blow them up, which I'm not, because I don't have a bomb. If I did, I'd have a video about it. Ha! All roads lead home. It really is pretty up here, if you can see. Or do I need to go slower? It really is pretty. I hate mosquitoes though. I'm not getting bit one right now. Shouldn't have said nothing. Even though when I don't get one, I feel like I got shit crawling all over me. I think it's these ants. Bugs are weird. There's a squirrel. You can't see it, so I'm not even gonna turn the camera. There's no button to turn the camera around. I can turn it around before I start filming, but not afterwards. Huh. Pauses. Ah. And that's a long pause right there. I'm literally trying to think of something to talk about. Shauna gets home in a little while, and we're going to pick up the boy, and then come home. Then I don't know what we're doing. Probably the same thing we always do, which is whatever we do. So I'm pretty sure I know what we're gonna do. Which is what we always do. Which is, I'm pretty sure I know whatever we're gonna do. Yeah, me either. Man, this is a long pause. It doesn't seem that long to me because I'm thinking of something. I'm trying really hard to think about something to talk about, or at least think about a way to end this. If I die young, no. Don't you ever have a song? Hate a song, lots of them. Don't you ever have a song that you get stuck in your head and you hate it? I've said this a bunch of times before. You never get the whole song stuck in your head, just the, one part you keep singing over and over and over and it's stuck in your head. And then later on, sometime you try to remember what that song was that you were singing that one day and you can't, or what that line went to on that song, or you start singing a line at random, you're like, where did I hear that? I did that the other day with the song, I can't remember. I think I can, but I don't think. But, and you're just singing it all the fucking time, and then it just gets on your nerves, and it used to be a song you like. The same thing with ringtones. I've told the other before, you said it because you like it, and then after a while you hate that song because you hear it so much on the ringtone, you know? They do the same thing on the radio. They play a song over and fucking over. I wonder if that's why people listen to iHeart and, YouTube Music and Spotify and all that shit, because they're tired of them playing the same damn song, but they make a playlist and play the same music over and over, so that really doesn't matter. But you can make a playlist of all different types of shit. Or they have pre-made playlists that you can listen to that you hadn't heard before, but it's songs you've never really heard, so you're not trying to listen to it. But I mean, all the songs you like you had never heard at one time, but you like them, but the only reason you like them is because you heard them on the radio and they kept playing them over and over and over. So really, I like the radio, I guess. Yeah, it's a intimidating thought for me when I'm all like, I want to hear a new song, and I go and look on like iHeart or something, and I don't recognize the name of it, so I'm like, I don't want to listen to this, and so I don't, and I don't learn the song, or I'll pick a song and I'll be like, I'm just gonna pick this because I might like it, and then I'll pick it and I'll be like, yeah, this is alright, and I'll add it to my playlist, and then I'll go look at my playlist sometime, I'll be like, I don't know this song, and so I'll skip it and play something else. When I should remember I added it in the first place, so I must have liked it, you know. Then you add a song you're not in the mood for when you add it, and then you hear it again when you, or vice versa. You add a song when you're in the mood to like it and then you go listen to it when you're not in the mood for it. You know what I'm trying to say, and you don't like it. Versus you hear a song all the time on the radio and it catches you no matter what mood you're in, and then you like it or you don't like it. So then whether you're in the mood for or not, when you listen to it on iHeart, hey, I like this song or I don't like this song. And you know what mood you're in, so you listen to it or you don't. What the fuck am I saying? I know what I'm saying and you know what I'm saying. I'm just going the long way around with it. Either way, you need iHeart and the radio. Not necessarily iHeart, but you don't need neither one of them. Sing to yourself a song that you heard on the radio or iHeart. Not the whole thing though, just one line over and over and over till you get sick of it and sing something else. Same thing with movies. Like, you liked a movie a whole lot and you watched it and you're like, yeah, I got to have this. And so you get it on DVD or something, you never watch the motherfucker again because you think about it and you see it and you're like, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't feel like watching this. You know? Even though you remember you liked it, you know? Or even movies you have that you do like and you see them and you're like, they're down there in your DVD rack or whatever, and you see them and you're like, yeah, I just don't feel like putting the DVD in. You know, but if it was on TV and you pass by it, you're like, oh, I'll watch that. You know? Very weird. Because we have so many fucking DVDs in there, and there's a bunch of them I like. A bunch of them I don't even know what the fuck they are. Though I remember watching them, I just can't remember what they're about. And a bunch of them I really don't like, but I mean they're okay, but they don't really have any rewatch value. I just watched them because they're good. You know those kind of movies. Scary movies are like that a lot. They're really good, but they're not really movies you want to watch again or over and over because you know what happens and it's just not really. That's why I have movies like feel-good movies that I can watch over and over and over and over and over and it'd be okay. Just one that's most, everybody, not everybody, but most, like The Wizard of Oz, just for example. Like, motherfuckers can watch that shit over and over and over, just know exactly what happens on every part, but, it's just, you know it, so. Just like when I go to sleep at night to, certain shit, I can go to sleep to it because I know it by heart. Like, I'll watch TV shows or whatever, or a movie, I'll have it playing in the background to go to sleep to because there's nothing that's going to make me stop and look up and be like, oh, sometimes it does, but if it's something I know what's going to happen, I don't need to look up. You know what I mean? I'm sure all y'all have something like that. You know? But I can't do that with music because I'll be singing along to it in my head. Weird. TV shows are kind of different though when you're. Well, it depends, I guess, whether you feel like rewatching it or not. Most of the times I'm cool like that with rewatching TV shows, like over and over, because I know what they're gonna happen, and it's really. Unless it's like one of them shows where it's like a drama type show, like 90210 or Dawson's Creek. That's the only dramas I can think of. I don't know. 90210 Dawson's Creek. The fuck is that? I don't know what kind of bird, or if it's a beaver getting killed. Dawson's Creek, 90210, Bones, Dexter, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Vampire Diaries, Law and Order, NCI. Drama shows. Those really don't have no rewatch value for me. I just can't really. And if they do, it's only a couple of times. I can't sit there and watch a long show like that over and over and over. I just can't. I just can't. Ow. That tree ain't any too comfortable after a minute. You ever do that? You're leaning against something or sitting on your foot or something, and you don't pay no attention to it, then you move and you're like, it hurts like a motherfucker. I do that sitting on my knees a lot, or my feet when they're bent, like toe to bent up. I'm sitting there and I got to stand up and I'm like, son of a bitch. That hurts. I remember one time, me and Shauna was sitting there watching Les Miserables, Less Miserable, whatever, however you want to say it, and my leg fell asleep and I didn't know it was asleep. Shut up, Shauna. I didn't know it was asleep, and I stood up and my leg just straight. I didn't feel it, and I just went down, just went straight down. Not like, whoa, what? I just. That was funny, even at the time. Good movie. That was when we were at the other house. I think we were sleeping on that blow-up mattress when we came up here from Amarillo. After we came up here, like, I liked sleeping down there. I don't know if I like blow-up mattresses so much. I do if they stay blowed up, but like, I don't know. They're kind of like beach balls. They blow up. Not like beach balls, because you can't never get them. You got to pinch that thing, and you're like, and you get it all the way up. And you got to go real fast and push that little plunger into it, but you never get it because the air always leaks back out. And you're like, fuck. And so you pinch it and do it again, and it never works. And you're always you're like, well, damn, I'm going to play with a semi-flat beach ball. And that's just not even fun anyways. It's fun for a second. I don't know. Goggles never work for me either. Water toys don't work for me. Goggles never worked for me. I put them on my eyes. It does not matter. I can go down there, go up underwater, and I got a fraction of a time before that shit starts slowly rising up. They do not work. I don't know why. They do not work. I think them big ones that suction themselves in my whole fucking face hurts. Or not hurts, works. They do hurt too. They leave that ring around your face. Tell people you was sunburned or whatever. Sunburn. They leave that ring around your face though. I feel like something's biting the fuck out of me. One day at a time. I don't even know what the fuck to talk about. I really want to make a video with Shauna, because I think it'd be cool to like make videos together. She's all shy and shit, but she's really not. She gets on camera and acts like she's shy. I've filmed her before when she doesn't know I'm looking, and not in like a creepy stalker way where I hide outside the window. I mean, I like set the camera up and turn it on with my watch. That sounds creepy too, but I mean, not in a creepy way. Like, I get beside her, you know, and that still sounds creepy. Alright, I've heard of somebody doing that before to somebody, and, you know, they're act shy on camera, but when they did that to them, they didn't act shy. They talked like they normally were, and then found out they were on camera, and they went back to being shy. Not Shauna, somebody else, because that would be creepy if I did it to her. But if I could just get Shauna to get on there and play around and shit, talk and have fun, I think it would be really cool, because we could bid off each other, and generally people listen to her more than they listen to me, so at any rate I could whisper something to say in her ear and they'd be like, oh, where versus I said it and they're like looking at me like I'm looking at myself, like, what, you know. But it goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning. That's an instance where I'm like, hey, let's do that, and she's like, you know, she has no interest in it and she doesn't want to, and I know that, but still I keep asking her and talking about it, and it gets to where I don't even want to ask her, but I still do, knowing what she's gonna say. And if we do it and got on there and made a video, she wouldn't say shit, she'd be all quiet. I don't know. Making them by myself. I'm not making them to post like talking about it. I'm making it, I'm talking about shit, and then I do post it, like, but up to the page where it's just supposed to be my family reading it. They don't look at it at all. They don't give a fuck, which is kind of crazy. You know? It's like, hey, I want to talk to y'all. They don't care to talk, which is cool. I mean, if they're not interested in listening, then, you know, that's not their thing. You know, I don't know, they'd rather be, you know, doing whatever they do that they like that I don't like. They'd rather be doing that. And that's what they like to do, and they don't like watching this shit, so I can't fault them for that, you know? I can fault them for it, but it wouldn't make any sense to do it, so just do what it is. Alright, I'm gonna get off here, I guess. I ran out of shit to talk about as soon as I hit record, so this will be another one of those that don't make any fucking sense. I wish I knew what I said on that back seat when I kind of vaguely have an idea. I was talking about how the back seat sucks because the people in the front seat are talking about shit and you're in the back seat and they get annoyed because you go up there and you're like, what? And you know, you're in the front seat, you're not trying to hear what they're talking about, and when you're in the front seat, when you're in the back seat, you do, so you keep saying what and leaning forward, you know. And if you got somebody back there with you in the back seat, y'all have your own little conversation and you're just in two different worlds, but it's really isolated back there. But if you got like somebody in the, what's that called, not the trunk, that'd be fucking illegal, and you know, unless you wanted to, then it's a fucking weirdo. I mean, I guess it might be fun. You might have a TV or something back there. Or a bomb I made. What? But if you got like that is called the trunk, ain't it? In the back. Like a SUV in the back. If you're like in the back seat and somebody's sitting back there, then you're like in the middle, so you're like the middle person. I don't know, it was a whole video. I can't even remember what I was talking about. But I wish I knew what I said on it. It was about nothing important. It just irritates me that I can't hear it. I wonder if there's some kind of way. Nope, they ain't. I wonder though if it is. I'll have to look into that. No, I'm not. Alright then. Well, I'm gonna get off here. I guess this treehouse got about 9 stories high before it finally broke. So I'll make my way out this motherfucker. Maybe we'll make a video later with Shauna. I don't know. Till then, get off me. Everybody be good. Alright. No Wi-Fi. Still can't believe that shit. What the fuck? Hooked on it. Everybody's hooked on Wi-Fi. Alright then. I'm out.